Sir, may I come in?
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Yeah,
sir.
please take your seat. What's your good name?
So, my name is Rishabh Verma.
Rishabh, what's your roll number?
Sir, 024071.
024071. Right. Rishabh, you must be aware that still the havoc created by COVID-19 pandemic has not come to an end. So as part of our commitment to the best practices and protocol, and in order to adhere to the protocol of COVID appropriate behavior, we all are masked and we are maintaining a safe social distance. So you are at liberty to take a call on whether you want to continue with this interview session with your mask on or off. It is up to you.
I want to remove it, sir.
Please go ahead.
Thank you.
So should we start the conversation?
Sure, sir.
So tell me something about your academic background, Rishabh.
Sir, I did my schooling from Gale DAV Public School, Dibyapur Town, Auraiya district, Uttar Pradesh. And simultaneously with my 12th class, I cleared AIEEE examination and then joined Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur, and for the chemical engineering, BTech in chemical engineering. And in the final year, in 2016, I got placed in Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Maharatna PSU, and I worked at HPCL Mumbai Refinery for the next 3.5 years. Thereafter, since November 2019, I've been preparing for the civil services examination.
Why you are here then? You are bidding adieu to a very lucrative career and you want to be part of civil services. Miss, I just wanted to know what is your motivation, why you are here?
Sir, I believe that civil service provides a diverse range of opportunities where I would be able to use my abilities better in a more efficient manner. And as a chemical engineer at HPCL...
Rishabh, don't feel offended, but this is a very ordinary reply that you are giving. Everybody who is coming in this interview room having engineering background is harping on the same string that this offers a plethora of opportunities, a bigger stage to do many things, but the real motive is something else. Just be honest to yourself. Come on.
Sir, actually, as a chemical engineer, I would have contributed to the economy by production of petrochemicals. But as a civil servant, I'll be able to make a difference in the society, economy, as well as the human capital. And the most important thing is that the life satisfaction, which I believe that I'll get from civil services, will be much more than what I used to get from my previous job.
When you finally wanted to land on moon, why did you make your destination Mars?
Sir, actually, what I did was a well-planned decision to first do engineering, then go for this job, and then come here, because I come from a small place, a small town, and my economic background is not that good. So I just planned it that way so that I'll have some financial independence before I plan for the civil service examination.
What is your plan B now in case you are not selected? If the doors of civil services are closed forever for you, what is your plan B? You will go back to your original love and liking, or you will still start venturing out into yet another unknown charted territory?
So well, right now the plan is on track, and I believe that I'll be able to clear it. And if God forbid it happens, then my plan B would be like, I already have experience, 3.5 years of experience in petrochemical industry. So I can go there also. I'll prefer to work like in some startup or do some social entrepreneurship.
Okay. Rishabh, you must be aware that assembly elections are on anvil in many states. Can you please tell me what is the criteria for giving the status of national party to any political party which has presence in certain number of states?
Sir, the Election Commission of India has provided some of the guidelines for a political party to be named as a national party. For example, if a political party is a state party in more than 4 states, then it becomes a national party. And if a political party in a general election has more than 6% of votes, then also it becomes a national party, along with the, I do not know the exact number of member of parliament that they need to have, but then also it becomes a national party. And there are total 3 criteria, I believe.
Okay, Rishabh, other members will be interacting with you now.
Rishabh, your optional subject is anthropology.
Yes.
What is the difference between hominid and hominoid?
Sir, I'm not able to recall it right now, but I would like to guess.
You have studied?
Yes, I have studied, sir.
Okay.
Sir, hominid is that part of the evolution which deals with the apes and the earlier human beings, and
Okay,
hominoid
leave
is humans.
Okay, leave it. You are basically an engineer and you opted anthropology.
See.
This combination, I am unable to understand why. Why anthropology?
Sir, because my graduation subject, chemical engineering, is not provided as an optional subject.
Okay.
So initially, I gave a thought to mathematics. I studied it for some time. Then the syllabus is quite large for mathematics, and you need at least 8 to 10 months to complete the entire syllabus. And then I like put my dilemma in front of my seniors. I consulted them, and they told me that there are some other optionals which I can explore. So they told me about sociology, anthropology. So I went through the entire syllabus of anthropology once. I gave 1 month, complete month, while preparing for mathematics also, and I gave 1 month to anthropology. And then I was I felt that yes, this is a subject which I feel connected to, and then I decided that I'll go with anthropology.
How your subject will help you in administration?
Sir, I believe that anthropology has got a lot of scope in administration. For example, the applied anthropology, in which we can help in planning new policies for the tribals and other parts of the society also. And in action anthropology, we can work in the field, where we can work with the people in the field to solve their problems. For example, the rehabilitation, resettlement problems, if some project is going to come, then the problems which are faced by the people in that region. So, and also the socio-cultural anthropology deals with the problems of society, marriage, family, and kinship, and etc. And also the archaeological anthropology deals with the historic sites. So I believe that the knowledge of archaeological anthropology will also help me in better management of the national heritage.
Okay. What is the meaning of Australopithecus? Meaning?
Australopithecus. Sir, it's a term, so pardon me, I cannot recall it right now exactly.
Okay. Last question from my side. How did fire impact the human evolution?
Sir, fire impacted the human evolution in a big way. For example, earlier the human, early man, he used to have raw fruits, and then the fire came. Then he used to eat the cooked, the meat which used to be raw earlier. It used to be cooked now, and then there are a lot of changes took place in the human anatomy. Earlier, more time was needed for digestion and everything, but now with cooked food, the time also came down, and now he could store the food so to be used at a later stage.
Okay. Thank you, Rishabh.
Rishabh,
Yes, sir.
your hobbies are jogging and blogging.
Yes, sir.
There is a word vlog.
Blog.
What is the difference between blog and vlog?
So blog is more of a formal term, and a more structured way. When we write in a more structured way, and vlog is like a social media term which we used, like for.
You're making guess.
Yes, sir.
You don't know exactly. Okay. So which kind of blog you are used to write or read?
Sir, I don't read much of blogs. I just read news, and then I put my ideas through my blogs, and I try to give a brief brief idea about any topic which I read. For example, yesterday the electoral bonds topic was there, so I just gave a brief introduction, who introduced it, what are the is the present criticism about the bonds and everything, and what is the way forward as a citizen, what we can do.
So share with us also.
Sir, for example, for electoral bonds, it was introduced in 2017, Finance Bill 2017. And it's a kind of promissory notes in which we contribute to a political party. And the main criticism of this particular scheme is that it's anonymity. For example, the information is not in the public domain. Even the Central Information Commission has said that political party being a public institution, they should put the information in the public domain. So it goes against the essence of the Right to Information Act. And the second thing is that it also goes against the right of shareholders. For example, if a company is going to donate an amount to the political party, earlier they have to disclose it in their profit and loss statement. But now that provision has been removed. So the shareholders' right has also been compromised, I believe. And earlier there was a cap that only 7.5% maximum donation could be given.
National Commission for Allied and Healthcare Professions Bill 2020 is in news. What do you know about this bill?
Sir, pardon me, but I cannot recall it right now.
Okay. Rani Avanti Bai Lodhi, Uda Devi and Jhalkari Bai, 3 female freedom fighters, are in news because of the establishment of 3 PAC, Women Battalion. Tell me about the contribution of these three female freedom fighters.
Sir, I have heard about Rani Avanti Bai Lodhi, and she was a freedom fighter who fought against the British. And we have a Murti of Rani Avanti Bai Lodhi in Jhansi. All that is, this is all I can remind.
Okay. You don't know about Uda Devi and Jhalkari Bai.
I have heard about Jhalkari Bai, but the Uda Devi I have not heard about.
Okay. Double mutant variant of SARS-CoV-2 is in news.
Yes.
So why we are calling this double mutant variant that is first time found in India only?
Sir, actually, SARS coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus, it mutates as per the environmental conditions. So the first mutant, for example, the UK variant, the South Africa variant, it was like identified a year ago. But now another mutant, for example, E484L and R452E is
R or L?
second one is R.
R.
First one is E, and these are the two variants which have been found. And the main issue is that these variants, we don't have much serological information about it, and they can be much more dangerous than the other mutants.
Okay, leave it. If you are selected and you have an opportunity to do for women in your district, so give me only one point what you want to do, what you will do.
Sir, particularly for Uttar Pradesh,
Yes.
sir, I would like to do something in the field of containing alcoholism, because I come from a small town. I have seen people, I have seen families getting destroyed because of alcoholism, and that too. So I want to take some steps in which something can be done to create awareness about women rights. Special sessions can be taken up with the women to tell them that these are your rights and these are
So
the
you are in favor
actions.
of liquor ban in UP.
Sir, I am not advocate of liquor ban, complete ban, but I am proponent of responsible consumption. For example, students or adults in the below the age of 23 or 21 should not be allowed to drink, because that is not the exact age when they can take right decisions about themselves. And also, if somebody wants to drink, it's his right to drink, but responsible consumption of alcohol should be the way forward.
Rishabh, tell me what are the features of zero coupon bonds?
Zero coupon bonds, for example, a bond has a face value, let's say 1,000.
Why it is called a zero coupon?
Because, sir, interest is not paid every year.
How does the investor get the benefit then?
Say the investor gets the benefit because the subscription value for that bond is lower than the
Amount paid.
Which he'll get at the maturity. For example, rupees 1,000 is the bond. The investor will be able to buy it at
By a
930
discounted
rupees.
price. Okay. And
discounted
the
price.
redemption price will be
Higher.
the face value of the bond.
Exactly. Sir.
Okay, fine. I'm giving you a situation-based question, Rishabh. See, you are posted as a SDM in a very rural subdivision. Fine. And today evening, you got a call from Chief Minister Secretariat that Honorable Chief Minister will be coming tomorrow early morning. Fine. You have to make all the arrangements. He is coming basically to lay the foundation stone of one school, and that was not on the cards, but it has been planned all of a sudden. You have to make all the arrangements, and mind it is a very resource-starved subdivision. You yourself find it very difficult, to travel from your place to. You are not provided with official vehicle to your, this office. Got it? So you have to make all the arrangements. The point where the Chief Minister will be coming, it's a makeshift helipad. From there, the place where he will be going to inaugurate or to lay the foundation stone of the school is around 5 kilometers, right? You have to make certain arrangements. The arrangement will involve mobilizing the manpower, the resources, the vehicle, etc. The condition is there is only one person who is very influential and who is having all these resources at his disposal. The irony of the situation is this person belongs to, he is a very influential political man. He is from the rival political party. Fine. The Chief Minister hails from another political party and he is from the rival political party, and you are having good rapport with that fellow. What will you do? Will you go to him? See, and I want a very candid, honest and practical jawab. Don't go into the theory. Don't come up with value-laden statements ki this is what I will be doing and come what may, I will stick to my principles. That is not practically feasible and possible. So I just want a very pragmatic reply from your side. What will you do?
Sir, my first action would be to garner all the support that I have in the administration.
Fine,
to
you have
plan.
done it, and that is
And
insufficient.
secondly, I'll talk to that person. If I have good personal relations, then I'll just ask him that on the basis of if he can guarantee me the anonymity, that he'll provide me some resources for the time period. Then I'll surely take help because he's also a part of civil society. So I'll take help from him.
So Rishabh, this will be a breach of trust. Come on, what you are doing? What you are going to invite the animosity of your respected honorable chief minister.
Sir, before that, I'll also consult the party to which the chief minister belongs, the party representatives from that particular area, that if they are comfortable, if they can arrange something, first priority is there. If they can arrange
And if they are not comfortable with this idea, so you will extend instead of courtesy all the inconvenience to your visiting honorable chief minister.
But sir, at least I will have to do that.
See,
because
there
I
will be
cannot-
ample of occasions where you will have to work under certain level of constraints. What will be your best way to work with this particular scenario?
Sir, I'll try not to offend someone. For example, I'll take opinions from my seniors or colleagues if they have been in such a situation earlier also. And depending upon the situation, I'll take the best call. But the main motive would be not to take all the stakeholders in the loop and just converse with them and come up with a particular solution that is
do
acceptable.
you personally feel you have a certain level of flexibility in your personality to strike a balance and to settle, to massage the egos of both the sides?
Sir, I would say yes, because I have worked in HPCL. I used to work with technicians who are double my age. I used to work with my colleagues who were my age.
You have got good negotiating skills, right?
Exactly. So I know exactly how you can get work done from your technicians. In age they are double, but in experience also they are double, but in post they are not. So you have to sometime you have to just speak as per the person wants and just.
Okay, Rishabh, we wish you should not land into any professional hazard in your professional career. All the best. It was nice talking to you. Your interview is done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Rishabh, please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
How do you rate your performance on a scale of 10?
Sir, I have a problem to speak fast. My pace is a little more than required, and I try to slow down, but somehow it doesn't happen. And I need to brush up the concepts of anthropology, sir. That is for
So
sure.
that needs to be taken care of.
Yes, sir.
You have rightly pointed out that you are moving with a galloping pace.
Yes.
Fine, that needs to be reined in. That is one thing. See, if you want to convey what you are feeling about any particular topic, you should take into account my capability to embrace your thoughts. Got it? You are here not to show your excellence in thoughts. You are here to impress me. You are here to convince me. You are here to give reply to my questions that belong to me. Got it?
Yes.
Your knowledge, your personality will be assessed from my parameters. So that parameters have to be respected. Got it? So that speed has to be a little bit controlled. That you can do, no doubt about this. So you are one of the best candidates we have interacted today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the compliment.
You have a very vibrant personality. You are radiating a great amount of energy, I tell you, frankly, without mincing words. And we are quite impressed. Fine. Because everything minus that speed is very impressive, because you are engaging. You are very engaging. See, no matter whether the questions are having a factual requirement or expecting some analytical deliberation, so you are perfectly fine with everything, that factual thing, that analytical things, and you are putting it in right perspective. So that is something which needs to be commended about. And I need to dedicate a special words of appreciation for your alertness of mind as well. The situation based questions are very tricky, I tell you. We don't, I pointed out that you don't need any ratified jawab. Fine, it should not be a flat jawab. See, your intellect is not being subjected to examination here. Your intelligence means ki how you are putting use to your intellect in a particular situation, commensurate with the requirement of the situation. That is something which we are looking for. So your intelligence is also of a very impressive level. You just keep the spirit high, and we don't feel that many more advices should come your way. if at all it is coming for the sake of advice. I tell you, we don't find much, to give as a feedback session. Fine, you have been performing exceedingly well. All the best. May you come out with flying colors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.